Alright guys, how you doing? Rye coming at you with a deck tech for the MTG Homebrew Network. We're looking at some Pauper stuff today. With Edge of Eternities, we got some cool new cards, mostly for this list, Cryogen Relic. It's a pretty sweet one, everyone's been talking about it. Enters or leaves the battlefield, you're drawing a card, and you can actually sacrifice it with an activated ability, but for the most part, we're not worried about that. We'd rather just bounce it back to our hand. And we're doing that with cards like Dreamstalker. When it enters, you get to pick up a permanent you control, and the main reason we're using the blue engine for this rather than core Skyfishers and Glinthawks is we've got the High Tide Familiars package. So we can discount our Dreamstalker as well as our Cryogen Relics down to a single blue with the Sunscape, and that makes it really easy to chain them together. Now this wouldn't work just if we were not interacting, so we got a nice little control shell using prohibits, snaps, as well as some removal on enchantments that we can blink. We got Journey to Nowhere, which if we respond to its enters with a Teferi's Time Twist or by blinking the Dreamstalker, we can put it right back in our hand and exile it permanently. And then we got Reality Acid, which can exile or make our opponent sacrifice pretty much any of their permanents. If we get this going with Dreamstalker and blinking with Teferi's Time Twist, we can start taking out their lands and start reusing it, and that pretty much locks a lot of decks right out of the game. Now the other way this deck wins besides locking out with the Reality Acid loop is by using the typical Sunscape Familiar, Archaeomancer, and High Tide combo to either generate infinite mana and start looping through our deck with Ghostly Flickers and Archaeomancers, or we can make infinite life with God Pharaoh's Faithful. Really useful against the aggro deck. This thing being a 0/4 is kind of crazy, not dying to bolt. We got a typical island land base so that we can get everything off of our Lorien revealed, and it's nice and spicy with our little one of foil. This deck draws so many cards off a Cryogen Relic that sometimes it's okay to just go 3 cards down and say I'm countering your spell. Moving to our sideboard, since I got the prohibits in the main board, I'm thinking Disdainful Stroke is going to be really good against things like Writhing Chrysalis and Terrors that we don't have great answers for in the main board. Though you can Reality Acid. If we're blinking that, we can ignore the ward cost on Tolarian Terrors, which is pretty cute. We also got Echoing Truth in the sideboard, which is really good against a lot of the token decks. Kind of sick with Cryogen Relics as well, because we can bounce those back to our hand if we got a multiple. We'll have the last God Pharaoh's Faithful, Hydroblasts for the red matchups, and then the other 2 Snaps and the last Prohibit for more spell-based matchups. And then we got 3 Thraben Charms as well, because we need to have some sort of graveyard removal. Taking that out is going to make our matchups versus Spy as well as Mono Blue a lot better. Really hopeful for this new deck. I'm seeing a lot of potential here and looking to try it out soon. We will have some gameplay coming up with this one soon, and I hope to, or maybe it's already up by the time this is going up, I'm not sure of the order, but look forward to that. Alright, awesome. Have a good one.